is now 7 o'clock. City of Forest Park Council meeting number 1439 starts now. We're going to start by standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, council is in session. Starting with item number 1 on the agenda is the roll call. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Present.
Brown,
Here.
Clark, Harrison,
Here.
Holt,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
Sylvester.
Here. All right, I need a motion to excuse Councilmember Clark.
Motion to excuse Councilmember Clark from council today.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sound of voting aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, Councilwoman Clark is excused. Moving on to item number 2 on the agenda, which are the minutes. Has everyone received the minutes? Are there any changes or corrections to be made? All right, hearing none. Moving on to item number 3, which is presentations. And actually, we do not have a presentation at this time. So we're going to go on to item number 4, which is communications from the public. So this is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. So when recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription, but comments are limited to 5 minutes. So if there's any member of the audience who would like to address council, please come to the podium. There should be a sign-in sheet up there. Then give your name and address, and then address council, and you will have 5 minutes. Ma'am?
Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Barnes. I live at 11382 Kenshire Drive, Forest Park. I've lived there for several years. I just came to talk to you about the loose dogs that are in the neighborhood. I am a senior citizen, and I like to walk the neighborhood, and I notice some other people do too. It started earlier. My next door neighbor, they have 2 of them, 2 pits, and one of them got out, and I had to I felt like I was running for my life, and my friend, she had to run, and my son had to run, and my friend's never going to visit again. But they've since then tried to fix their problem, but it's still okay, you know. The latest incident was last week when I was walking the neighborhood, and another neighbor on another street happened to tell me that there was a loose dog, as I saw him up in the grass, and I didn't understand why he had ran up in the grass with his little bitty dog. But it was another pit bull. Notice seems to be a lot of pit bulls, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, but it's all dogs. But school is getting ready to start, and it's getting scarier and scarier. But if that guy hadn't said anything, I might not be standing here now, because I had to run. I had to just back up, and the only thing I had on me was some pepper spray, and he didn't have anything, but he had a little stick, but we were kind of terrified. Like I said, I am a former school teacher, so I am concerned about the students too, because I have subbed for Forest Park, and by the way, they have great students, but we want to keep them that way. So I was just wondering I don't know if there's anything you can do to address this problem, but there is a problem with dogs being loose in the neighborhoods. They just let them I think some of them are smart and they just get loose, but then some of them are just wandering around. So I don't know, more vigilant. I don't know what else we can do, but I would like to see that addressed so I can keep walking, because I love to watch and look at the nice neighbors, homes and stuff. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Barnes. Well, first, let me say we're glad that you're here. Not only did you escape from the dogs, but we're glad that you came here to council tonight. So please, if you leave your address and then leave the address of the neighbor that you know who had the dog, there actually is an ordinance against not having dogs on the leash. We passed that quite a while ago. Councilmember Holt, do you know exactly when we had passed that?
It's been a while.
It's been a while,
I
but
reported it to the police. I came up there.
okay, but
I
we'll
think
make
they
sure.
They did address it.
Okay, good. We'll make sure that we do some more code enforcement on that. So that we do appreciate you coming in, and we do appreciate you thinking about the safety of our children walking the neighborhood. So we do pride ourselves on being a safe community, so we'll make sure that code enforcement is happening actually in the area.
Most people are following the rules, but it's just always a few. My sister-in-law, she actually encountered the same thing. She's got a bigger dog, and she
Yeah.
has to pull her dog back because another dog is
Right.
loose. But
Right.
that's starting to happen a lot.
I understand. I'm a dog lover myself, but most people do follow the rules in this community, but
Some of 'em do.
but one is too many that aren't following the rules. So we will follow up on that.
When you encounter, you don't know how to, how you're going to back up and what can you do.
Yeah.
I have a question, and you said you live off of Kentshire?
Yeah, Casey.
So-
One of them happened on my street, like my next door neighbor. Like I said, my friend will never visit again, but there's nothing anyone can do about that because she had to jump in her car for safety. I jumped
So, are you up like closer to Cara Hill or closer down by Waycross?
closer to Cara Hill.
You're on top of the hill. And so like the dogs are on Cara Hill or on
The other
Kentshire?
dog last week was on near Longacre, I guess, and
Yeah.
Cara Hill, and it
Okay.
was
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And this guy, if he hadn't have said anything, I was just walking. I would have kept walking, and when he said pit, he hollered out pit because I had my earbuds on.
Yes.
He said pit. There's a pit. So I looked, and there it was, and I started backing up.
It was outside the
Yes, it was.
fence.
I thought I got a picture, but I didn't. And my next door neighbor, they didn't believe me, but I had my friend jumped in the car, took a picture, so we had pictures.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Ironically enough, that was something I wanted to discuss today when I was able to discuss items that I had for the agenda. So thank you so much. I am certain that our mayor and our city manager and council in whole, we will explore what options we have in an effort to minimize this issue and be able to enforce the ordinances that are in place, because that was on my agenda today. So thank you.
Because the high school kids are getting ready to, and they walk down.
The elementary school kids
Right,
walk, yes.
Not to say that they're afraid the dogs next door, but they kind of walk across the street, and
Mm-hmm.
they're very manageable, and they don't bother anybody, and they shouldn't be bothered by dogs and stuff like that.
I agree with you totally. I've experienced it myself, so I agree. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That concludes item number 4, which is communications from the public. So moving on to item number 5, which is reports from council members, and we are going to start with Councilmember Adams.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much, and greetings to my colleagues here on the dais. The issue with the dogs, I don't want to beat a dead horse. However, that was something that was on my agenda for today. I've also encountered that just walking in the community. And then I also like to discuss opportunities to enforce our ordinances when it comes to littering. There appears to be an increase in the amount of debris that is on the sidewalks and on the streets, and wanting to inquire. I know that we have ordinances regarding that. I'm not sure how we can enforce it. However, really wanting us to just have a brief discussion about possibly what our options are, because it's getting really bad. So that, and then the last thing that I would like to bring on the agenda for September, if possible, a voter registration block party of some sorts. I know that Councilman Harrison is going to talk a little bit about some amazing community engagements that are going to be happening within the next week or so, and I'm sure there'll be some opportunity there, but also wanting to explore some additional opportunities to give our Forest Park residents to ensure that they're registered to vote, however they choose to vote, but make sure that they're registered to vote. So those are the only things that I have, and I don't have a report for my standing committee. So that's all I have today, sir.
All right, thank you for that, Councilmember Adams, and I have added that for the work session when we return
Yes,
in
sir.
September. Moving on to Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd like to wish everybody in the great city of Forest Park, I'll bid you hello. But yesterday, even though I am an Army man, yesterday was the 234th birthday of the United States Coast Guard. So for those residents who served in the United States Coast Guard, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. Of course, notable members who served in the Coast Guard include Alex Haley, the author of Roots, actor Buddy Ebsen, Cesar Romero, Alan Hale Jr., who played the skipper on Gilligan's Island, and of course, Donald Duck. Yes, he's a member of the Coast Guard as well. So just a little bit of trivia there because that's what they do. He did serve, so happy birthday, Coast Guard. But also, too, this upcoming weekend, the National Pan-Athletic Council of Cincinnati, they're going to have their annual picnic in Forest Park. So last year, they had the picnic out here for the first time. Had a lot of good positive feedback. They loved the facilities at the park. They liked the new playground equipment. They also like the fact that there's a Kroger across the street, so in case people forgot food items, they can run across the street. Also, members of the council brought school supplies to donate to Winton Woods City Schools. So this weekend, or this upcoming weekend, they actually made a weekend out of it, so they will be frequenting some of our establishments, notably the Jazz Spoon. On a Saturday, Sunday, they'll be participating in church services at Quinn Chapel. Then on Sunday, between 12 and 5, the picnic is in Central Park and Forest Park. Okay, so we'd like to welcome them to our park. I think we're doing a lot of great things here and just showcasing the beauty of this beautiful city.
Okay. And thank you for that, Councilmember Harrison. You said the picnic is from 12 to 5?
12 to 5, yes, sir.
Oh, and will all 9 MPHC Greek letter organizations be
They will.
present? Okay.
They will be there.
All right. So we thank you for leading that and bringing that to the city. So any MPHC members, please come out to the Greek picnic. Do you have any work session items to add at this time, Councilmember Harrison?
No, sir. No, I know when we get back, I'm sure we'll get right back, hit the ground running in September, but I have nothing at the moment.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And now moving on to First Vice Mayor Holt.
Good evening, everybody. Just to address something that Councilmember Adams said that she wanted to add. We do have a party meeting every month here in Forest Park. We are planning to have voter drives, so you're always welcome to come to the meetings on the third Thursday of the month. And so we are working on that. We're planning it. And if you want to help us plan it, I mean, you're more
ma'am.
than welcome to come and do that.
Thank
With that, that would conclude, and I have no items.
All right. Thank you for that, Vice Mayor Holt. Moving on to Second Vice Mayor Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had opportunity to attend the cadet, police and fire cadet graduation. It was a very nice event, so congratulations to the cadets and their families. Their families were there as well, and to all of the staff members who were involved in making sure that program was a huge success. And that completes my report.
All right. Thank you for that, Dr. Moore. Do you have any work session items to add?
No, I do not.
All right. And then moving on to Councilmember Sylvester.
Yes, Mayor, good evening. Forest Park residents, just want to, I don't have a formal report, but just to comment that want to thank the city and the staff members of the city for doing a great job with our Jazz in the Park. It was a great event out of this past Saturday. Had a lot of positive comments from the attendees at the event. So I just want to acknowledge a job well done to our staff. And also I've had comments and follow-up from residents. They see that the city is doing a lot of great work. They see we got some action going on with our road work. We have some that have asked about, the scheduling. Say, well, hey, sometimes the city has to interact with contractors at the time that they can to get the work done. Mm-hmm. But I commented that they can always call the city to kind of maybe get an update as to when some of the road work may be approaching a final point of the schedule, because mainly ones that are concerned about getting ready to start school, bus routes, things of that nature. So you can always call the city to get a bit more detail in that area. So just want to make that acknowledgement.
Okay.
Thank you.
And do you have any work session items to add at this time, council member?
No, sir.
All right, thank you for that. That concludes item number 5, reports from council members. Moving on to item number 6, which is the mayor's report. I'm going to echo the sentiments of Councilmember Sylvester. We do want to thank all of the residents who came out this Saturday for Jazz in the Park. Actually, we believe this was our largest turnout. Last year was the largest turnout, but we broke that record. So last year we were just shy of 6,000, but I believe we were over 7,000 attendees throughout the day. So thank you to all the residents who participated. We love doing this for you. So continue to come out. We do want to thank all of our vendors who came. There were about, almost 10 food trucks, and there were different vendors, retail vendors as well. We want to thank all of our city staff who chauffeured people from the different parking lots. We want to thank our community partners, the local businesses who allowed us to use their parking lots, and thank all of the residents who allowed people to park in front of their house, because we know it got a little hectic. But we also do want to thank our police department for directing traffic and making sure everyone was safe, as well as the different organizations that were present there. I know a few residents did mention that they saw camera crews going around, so we do film in partnership with Waycross, but we did partner with Black Art Speaks. The nonprofit organization came and took a little bit of footage, because they're going to show that footage at Blink this October, which is going to be the 17th through the 20th. So expect to see a bit of information about the city of Forest Park, and what better event to showcase our culture than that one. In addition to that, I do want to say that there is a bridge repair happening on West Kemper. So it started July 29th, and it'll be going for the next couple weeks. I believe it is over on the 19th of this month. So please take alternate routes if you drive over that way. And with that, that concludes my report. But again, I want to thank everybody who came out for Jazz in the Park and the city for doing a tremendous job, just a job well done. So with that, that concludes my report. I did almost forgot. Takia, when do we return from recess? The 9th. Okay. Okay, so this is actually the last council meeting before we go on recess, and we will return September 9th. So with that, I will conclude my report. And then we're going to move on to item number 7, which is the city manager's report. And we have our assistant city manager, Mr. Andy Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to reiterate, I mean, we've obviously talked about the Jazz, but it was a tremendous success from my viewpoint. I would like to thank all the staff, volunteers, including special thanks to Jay Dennis, Rebecca Brown, and Public Works, and all the employees that were here. The amount of time and dedication to put on an event of this magnitude takes a special group behind the scenes. I believe this gets larger and larger every year. I personally drove a golf cart all night, picked up and dropped off attendees. I received nothing but positive feedback, so it was a great night.
Thank you for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know it was,
No,
it was
it
a
was-
lot of driving.
I personally enjoy it. I do it every year, and it's just something I enjoy. I also want to remind everybody of our upcoming roller skating in the park on August 15th. It's from 4 to 9. Should be another great and one-of-a-kind event. The rink will be set up on the basketball court. It can accommodate up to 70 people at a time. I think we're doing like 1-hour slots. So be on the lookout for the ability to pre-register online later this week. And then there will also be food trucks, music, and games. And lastly, it's chipper week, so get your branches and everything out onto the curb. And that concludes my report.
Can you just remind the people about the skating that there is a fee?
Yes, there is a $5 fee per person for the skating, up to $25 max per family. So if you have more than 5 people, the rest are free. So you can, like I said, you can pre-register online. They will have about, depending on how many people show up, they'll have about 10 slots available for walk-ups for each hour. So
You can find that flyer on all the city social media pages, but also directly on the website, and you can register on the website, correct, Andy?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's live yet, but it will be live this week.
All right. Thank you for that. And that concludes item number 7. We're going to move on to item number 8, which is our other reports, and we're going to hear first from our law director, Mr. John Wyckoff.
Since the last council meeting, I worked with property code enforcement on a neighborhood situation, and hopefully that got straightened out. I also researched this issue of using our property code enforcement personnel to enforce our parking violations. We have, most of our parking violations in the city tend to be on property, not out on the roadway, as much as, parking in the grass, blocking the sidewalk, that type of thing. So, we had a number of ways we could do this. The most expeditious was ordinance number 25, 2024. That will empower our property code enforcement officers as part of their routine visualization of property violations in the city. They can do the parking violations also. In the past, that was in our traffic code section, and only police officers could enforce the traffic code. So we left it in the traffic code, but we added it now under the authority of the property code. What I deleted from the traffic code parking violations that might occur on the highway. We don't want our property code people out on 275 looking for parking violations. So that remains the sole authority of the police department. But that's why we came up with 25, just so we could increase enforcement opportunities. That would be the end of my report unless there are any questions.
Have any questions for our law director? All right. Thank you for that, John. And then moving on to our clerk of council, Ms. Takia Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance number 24 through 2024, ordinance number 24-2024 through 26-2024, as well as resolutions number 40-2024 through 42-2024 was posted as required. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. Moving on to item number 9, which is unfinished business and general orders. And I need a motion to suspend.
Yes, I motion to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 3 separate days and read for the 4th time by title only ordinance number 20-2024.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
You said just question, you said on 3 separate days?
Yeah.
Okay, mine said 2, that's why I asked. Am I missing something?
That's the same.
No, they
Yep.
made a
That was,
quick.
that was a correction that was given by our clerk of council, so I was asked to make those comments.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, a motion is on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
This ordinance was posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
All right, thank you for that, council member. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
All right, motion to suspend passes 6-0. All right, will the clerk please read ordinance number 20-2024 for the 4th time by title only?
Ordinance number 20-2024, rezoning the eastern 46.506 acres of the Forest Fair Mall property from PB Planned Business to IP Industrial Park, approving a preliminary development plan and declaring an emergency.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. I motion to table to the next council meeting ordinance number 20-2024.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. The city is diligently working with the developer to come up with a development agreement. So until the development agreement is complete, we'll have to wait until the next council meeting to see what if this project has made any progress. And with that, I will urge adoption on the motion. So will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to table?
Brown,
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance number 20-2024 is tabled. Passes 6-0. So moving on to item number 10, because that concludes item number 9. Item number 10 is new business, and I need another motion to suspend.
A motion to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only, ordinance number 24-2024 through 26-2024. These ordinances were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All right. Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Harrison.
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. All right, motion to suspend passes 6-0. Will the clerk please read ordinance number 24-2024 by title only?
Ordinance number 24-2024, an ordinance determining to reduce and recertify special assessments levied for the purpose of constructing certain improvements and declaring an emergency.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
I motion ordinance number 24-2024.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, this is a routine house cleaning measure that the city performs each year to adjust the amount added to the mall's annual tax bill. So with that, I motion for the ordinance number 24-2024.
All right, thank you for that, Councilmember Sylvester. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Holt,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
All right, ordinance number 24-2024 passes 6-0. Will the clerk please read ordinance number 25-2024 by title only?
Ordinance number 25-2024, an ordinance granting property code enforcement personnel the authority to enforce parking restrictions and declaring an emergency.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. I move to adopt ordinance number 25-2024. All
Second.
right, it's been moved and properly seconded. John gave, or our law director, Mr. Wyckoff, gave a pretty detailed explanation earlier, but this ordinance will grant property code enforcement officers the power to enforce parking and stopping regulations outlined in sections 96.83 to 96.96 of the Forest Park Code. And with that, I would urge adoption. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
All right, ordinance passes 6-0. Will the clerk please read ordinance number 26-2024 by title only?
Ordinance number 26-2024, an ordinance amending appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Forest Park, state of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31, 2024.
Thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
Yes, I motion ordinance number 26-2024.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
That this budget appropriation is intended to include the Clean Ohio grant in the city budget. So I motion for 26-2024.
Oh, yes. I lost my place for a second. Thank you for that, Councilmember Sylvester. Will the clerk call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Sylvester.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance number 26-2024 passes 6-0. I need another motion to suspend.
A motion to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read for the first time by title only resolution numbers 40-2024 through 42-2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
And these resolutions were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
Thank you for that, Vice Mayor. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Adams.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
All right, motion to suspend passes 6-0. Will the clerk please read resolution number 40-2024 by title only?
Resolution number 40-2024, accepting the bid of Victus Technologies
Is there a motion, Dr. Moore?
Thank you. I move to adopt resolution number 40-2024.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, the current contract for the citywide phone system expires in mid-October. The city issued a RFP for a more modern cloud-based phone system. After demonstrating the top 4 options, the city manager and staff have selected Vitas Technologies NEC with Intermedia.
All right, thank you for that, Vice Mayor. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Brown,
Yes.
Clark, I'm sorry, Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
All right, resolution passes 6-0. I'm sure if she was here, she would have passed it as well, so. Will the clerk please read resolution number 41-2024 by title only?
Resolution number 41-2024, a resolution accepting a Clean Ohio grant to purchase 21 acres of land for green space preservation.
All right, thank you for that. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
I motion resolution number 41-2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, this resolution is to accept $590,000 Clean Ohio grant for purchasing a 21-acre parcel for the land located east of Hamilton Avenue and south of I-275. The land was owned by Ober Company for about 35 years and has not been developed due to limited road access. The grant will be used to buy the property, place a permanent sign designating it as a community open space, and fund 2 rounds of honeysuckle removal to enhance the inhabitant. The city manager was authorized to apply for the grant back in October 2023, and now the resolution is to accept the awarded funds. So I motion for 41-2024.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Sylvester. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. All right, resolution passes 6-0. All right, will the clerk please read resolution number 42-2024 by title only?
Resolution number 42-2024, a resolution requesting the Hamilton County Auditor to place special assessments against a property in the city of Forest Park for fire code violations through May 31, 2024.
Thank you for that, Ms. Bailey. I move to adopt resolution number 42-2024.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. So this resolution will authorize the city to assess fire code violations associated with 1047 Cincinnati Mills Drive. And with that, I will urge adoption. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
All right, resolution passes 6-0. So that concludes those items, but I make a motion to direct the clerk of council to notify the Ohio Department of Liquor Control that the city of Forest Park does not request a hearing regarding transferring a liquor license request to BMO Mart LLC. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. There's no further discussion. Will the clerk,
Any questions?
well, this, yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, where's this, I'm not familiar with this name.
Mr.
It's
Andy?
it's the Pony Keg, the Forest Park Pony Keg is, and I guess it changed ownership.
Where's it located?
Northland.
On
Northland,
yeah.
yeah. It's strictly just a change of ownership.
Yeah, so it,
Issues?
so it already exists, and then it's just a new owner now, but.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the police chief had no issues with,
objections.
no objections.
John, you had no objections reviewing this? All right. So, this could be a voice vote, so all those in favor, let it be known by the sound of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes 6-0. And then, is there another motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
Yes, I motion to accept the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and properly seconded. Any further discussion?
No further discussion.
All right, this can also be a voice vote, so all those in favor, let it be known by the sound of voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes 6-0, and that concludes all of the new business. So is there any other business to come before the body? Is there any other business to come before the body? Is there any other business to come before the body? All right, I hope all of our residents are also watching the Olympics, because I'm super patriotic when the Olympics come on, but this council meeting is adjourned.